Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, thank you for tuning in for another week, another episode, another chance to talk about college football, especially week number 4 coming up. Week 3 was filled with a lot of excitement. Almost the upset of the decade that I almost called, but we'll get into that. And we're going to look ahead into a awesome week 4. Got a lot of good games. Florida State does play, so there's a chance for them to lose. Got to love that.
Always.
Nation's pulling for us at this point.
There's always
They're
a chance
pulling
we
against
lose.
us. But either way, we're going to get into all of it. Guys, thanks for listening, and we're going to hope you enjoy the show.
So, Jake, I guess I'll lead us off. I don't know if this is the upset that you're referring to, but for those who don't know, the Georgia Bulldogs, congratulations. You know, y'all won y'all's 42nd straight regular season game. Y'all went to Lexington, Kentucky. Y'all got the win, but as per usual between Georgia and Kentucky, it wasn't exactly easy for Kirby Smart's team. The 13-12 football game didn't see the Bulldogs maintain a lead until the fourth quarter. A 22-point favorite as the ball was kicked off. The Dogs escaped a critical upset just 2 weeks before they had to head to Tuscaloosa to face the Roll Tide. Now, without getting too critical of the execution of the offensive play calling, we all know how Mike Bobo is at the start of the season. Let's break this down very simply, okay? You took 23 offensive snaps in the first half of the game, spanning 5 offensive possessions, okay? Let's do a little math problem here. Of those 5 possessions, 1 started inside your own 5, okay? The other began in the red zone because of a fumble recovery by the defense. So, in the 3 primary possessions of the first half, Georgia punted 3 times and gained a total of 43 yards. I know that's a lot of numbers thrown at you, but all you math wizards out there, stay with me. You cannot start a game that slowly on the road versus any SEC opponent and expect anything other than a fourth quarter fight. And that's exactly what Kirby Smart got. Now, on the other side, losing Tate Ratledge due to a knee and ankle injury sustained in this football game is less than ideal, okay? Let's just get that out of the way. Though Georgia's got experienced depth behind Ratledge, the interior of its defense line struggled immensely, and we saw that. And they've got to get healthy. That's the bottom line for me. It seemed like Georgia came into this game with the injuries that we saw in the pregame, and it came out as expected. They've got to get healthy. Now, Nazir Stackhouse and Christian Miller have played extremely tough to start the season, but without Warren Brinson and Jordan Hall, they've been very limited. And additionally, Xavier McLeod returned in the Kentucky matchup, and he was unable to finish the contest. He got taken out, I believe, mid-third quarter. So they will need to be as close to full strength as possible when they have to go to Tuscaloosa. So Georgia fans, thank goodness y'all got a bye week, okay? Y'all got some time for Uga to, sit down in that little penthouse, chew on a little milk bone, and just calm down a little bit, okay? Now, look, I know I've kind of been, patting Georgia on the back. Let's talk about Kentucky a little bit, okay? Because they give props to Mark Stoops. They played one heck of a football game. Kentucky had –
They deserve some love.
Yeah, Kentucky had more yards than Georgia, won the time of possession battle nearly 11 minutes, and sustained 11 more first downs than Georgia and rushed for more yards than the Bulldogs. As a home team, they beat Georgia in every statistical category except 2 turnovers and, of course, the scoreboard. Now, without the fumble forced by Ryan Wilson, recovered by Damon Wilson, and the other 2 explosive passes by Dominic Lovett and Dylan Bell, Georgia likely doesn't escape that game. And you can argue the pick 6 that was taken back because the referee says that there was enough disputed evidence that the ball hit the ground, making an incomplete pass. I call bull crap on that, okay? Wildcat Nation, I'm with you on this. There was not enough disputable evidence to overturn that call, but that's another conversation for another day. Listen, Georgia, you got the win. You get a week to think it all through, work through your mistakes. Mike Bobo, I pray that you open up the playbook here because you cannot be conservative against an Alabama team that, granted, has surpassed my expectations already.
Hey,
so I'm just saying. Well, go ahead.
It's the same thing Mike Bobo did last year. Look at Mike Bobo the first half of the season last year versus the second half. It's like the first couple of games of the season, he likes to play conservative, and then all of a sudden he just opens up the playbook, and it's a different Georgia offense.
So we saw a very defensive battle in Lexington, but Chase, in Gamecock Nation, we saw something very far from defensive. What happened in that LSU and South Carolina game?
I almost called it.
Yeah. Hey, props to Jake. Jake was almost on the money.
Dude, I was at work, unfortunately. Like, I couldn't step away, and like we had a tournament that I was having to run, so I was having to go inside and outside. Like, I kept making up excuses, and if my boss is hearing this, I'm sorry, but like I kept making up excuses to like go inside, so I could just be like, okay, what's the score? Okay, I got to run back out and do that. But man, when they got down to it, and there was like less than 2 minutes in the fourth, and it was like, oh, there's a real chance this is gonna happen. I was like,
so
I can't sit here and watch it. I got to go back out. But unfortunately, I came back in. LSU came out and came out and won. I was pissed.
I said
everybody. So was everybody else.
I said so confidently on our last episode that I thought Brian Kelly was going to take that LSU offense to South Carolina and that they were going to make a statement game out of it. Because the only reason I was thinking that was because of what Brian Kelly had to say after the USC loss, talking about that he needs to take accountability, that he's not doing a good job as a coach, and he can't let his team think they're out of it when they're not. So I was thinking this was going to be a game that would reflect him as a head coach. And he, even though I don't like him, I thought he was going to go out here and show all of college football that he still can be a great coach. But boy, was I wrong. Brian Kelly, you are not the guy. And the reason I'm saying that, well, first of all, we look at that South Carolina and Kentucky game just a week prior to this past Saturday. South Carolina dominated Kentucky, and they dominated the game in the trenches. That defensive line for South Carolina looked fierce against Kentucky. So everybody was thinking, hey, this is going to be a big test for South Carolina against LSU to see if that defensive line is actually legit. And they were. Look at the first quarter. Held LSU scoreless. Niedermeyer, I'm sorry if I'm butchering your name, had no control of that offense. Cock Nation was dancing a sandstorm, waving their white towels, and they were loud and rowdy, and LSU's offense hit a brick wall. It was 17-0 in the second quarter. Things rolling right for South Carolina until they weren't. And it all started on the second to last play of the first half. They were just about to go to halftime, and Mr. Goggleman, Sellers, got rolled up on his ankle. He got up, started hobbling, walked to the sidelines, and all of Cock Nation held their breath. But they still had a comfortable lead. I believe it was 17-7, 20-7, something of the sorts. But we know Beamer ball. Everybody was thinking, South Carolina's going to have to come out here in the second half, and they're going to have to run the ball. But that's okay, because we love Beamer ball. We know Beamer can do it. But that was not the case, because he brought out backup Robbie Ashford, a true redshirt freshman out of Florence, to come
from Auburn. From the guy from Auburn.
Yes, and he let him take control of the game, and he started 8 for 15, 112 yards, including a 75-yard run, which was the longest scoring run for a South Carolina quarterback in their program history. But this is where it took a turn for the worse. South Carolina, you shot yourselves in the foot. Over 100 scrimmage yards worth of penalties. 2 pick sixes were taken away because of your own holding calls. Now, I will say, it was a little bit of South Carolina against the rest. There was a horrible roughing the passer call.
That was the right call. I stand by that one. Sorry, that was the right call.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, it was stupid. Like, it was a stupid roughing the passer call.
You can't defend. I was going to say, you can't defend that.
That was right.
I didn't word that right. I'm talking about them shooting themselves in the foot, like the holding calls, the roughing passing call. Now, I will say this. There was a horrible pass interference call on South Carolina that changed the momentum of the game. But they had a chance. Alex Herrera with the chance to make a game-tying field goal from 49 yards. It went a little left, and that is all she wrote. LSU and Brian Kelly's offense made a staggering comeback. Now, for granted, they shouldn't have won the game. South Carolina had that game in control. But this is my quick message to South Carolina fans. You still look good this year. That defensive line looked great, but you've got to get rid of these mental mistakes. Now, the problem is, what's the future for Lenore Sellers? And if they do have to run with Robbie Ashford, that's not bad because he didn't look bad by any means. Now, I want to make this quick note. Did you know that there were so many penalties in that game that Florida State and Memphis went 9 minutes long before LSU and South Carolina finished the last 4 minutes of the game, all worth of penalties? That was probably the most penalties I've ever seen in a college football game. Crazy game. If you miss it, go back and watch the highlights. But, Jake, I want to turn to you. What's another game you want to recap from this past weekend?
Man, there's a couple that I was looking at. There's a couple that I got to watch. Like I said, the two that I was really able to hone in on were Florida State, Memphis.
You poor soul.
And, yeah, which was just, I mean, listen, you know what? Let's on this for just a second. This wasn't the game I was wanting to go over, but, we're all here. We're talking about it. And I think we're just the talk of the town at this point. I think, I'm looking at this season now, as you see 3 Florida State guys as we're sitting here talking about it. I think from any college football fan to any standpoint, to anybody that is an expert in college football would agree that this is not the same team that was here 2-3 years ago, and not just from a lack of players, not from a lack of depth, but just from a passion, just from a character standpoint.
Oh yeah,
and it just doesn't seem like they have the same thing, and we got to see all of that in the Memphis game. I think at this point we got to understand, we got to accept the fact that, we spent a lot of money on DJ Uiagalelei, and the fact that he is not producing by any means. I mean, he just doesn't look like a ball player. And you got 2 young quarterbacks that are behind him waiting in the wings to step up and give a chance. Mike Norvell, I think it's time to give those kids a chance. I think it's time to see what they can do on the field. DJ's had his time. He's blown his shot. Now it's time to see it. So, I think – so, I mean, it's just the game was just ugly. I mean, from the first possession, it was just bad all the way around. I think at this point we just got to try something new. We got to throw something else out there. But, not going to spend too much time on a team that's 0-3. When we have a reason to talk about them, we will. But it's not this week.
I want to ask you a question, Jake. So, Florida State, a lot of people say that the reason DJ's still playing is because of the NIL money we're paying him, and they don't want it to be a waste of money to have him sit on the bench. And what do you think it's going to take for Mike Norvell to finally make a change and start Brock Lynn? Like, what is that going to take?
Man, that's a good question. I mean, he's going to have to understand. He's going to have to fall on his sword and understand that this is not the guy that we thought. And you know what? And here's the thing. It's fine. Not everyone pans out the way that he was supposed to. Ask Dabo over in Clemson. He'll tell you the same freaking thing about this guy.
He knows.
He did not pan out to be what he thought to be. And, that's okay. He was a stud in high school. He should have stopped there. But, he didn't know what he was going to be like in college. And then we found out, they don't always pan out to be good players. College guys don't go to the NFL and play just as good as what they did. They don't pan out. It's just part of the deal. But, yes, I agree with you in the fact that they're not going to move him because of NIL money. I think the best thing that DJ has done to Florida State was give all of his guys beats. That was the best thing that he's given Florida State this year, and that was just the teammates. At this point, he needs to give every fan a pair of beats for as bad as he's gotten his butt beat. You know what I'm saying?
For making us watch this? Absolutely.
I mean, hey, watch this game and win some free headphones because this is bullcrap. We're having to sit here and watch this and pay for a monthly prescription of TV, of football. We're paying money to watch this joker throw this thing around the field.
The funny thing is, so he graduated high school in the same class as C.J. Stroud and Bryce Young. He was actually ahead of C.J. Stroud on the high school rankings. Well, you look at C.J. Stroud, what is he doing? He's thriving in Houston. What is Bryce Young doing? Well, he's not thriving in Carolina, but he's still in the NFL. What is DJ doing? He's on an 0-3 Florida State team in his 5th year of college football. He's a real loser here.
And that's the thing. It's crazy. And, I guess, none of us have played football. Okay, let's just get that out of the way. We're tall, skinny, we'd get killed.
Sure.
So we never played the game of football, but we can see from just watching it and from other people's standpoint, high school football to college football is a whole different gas. It's a whole different game. And then from college football to the NFL is like night and day.
Yeah.
It's just playing at a level that I guess you're really not prepared for. And, that's why you can't really base things off of high school rankings because, like you said, he's the same thing as C.J. Stroud. And he's a top-rated quarterback. He comes to college football and he just lays an egg, and you know what? That's okay. Right. Like if you're not meant for the game at that speed, then that's fine. Just don't pretend to be something that you're not. I mean, it's the same thing. Like Derrick Henry, I think was like, and if I'm wrong about this, I'm sorry, but I think Derrick Henry was like a 2-star running back out of high school.
I think
Dude's
you're
a dog.
I think initially Derrick Henry was like very underlooked, and obviously we know where he's at now. But yeah, you make.
So I mean, that's just
he's 30 years old in the NFL and he's still thriving.
Yeah, and I don't think it's.
I think you're right.
I don't think it's a coaching thing at this point, because he came into a broken Florida State team. He turned us around. We lost the first 3 games, and then we won 10 straight. And then they flipped to the next year, and we went undefeated. And then you go to the other year, and we get a crappy quarterback, and the heart of our team is gone because we lost more players than we gained. And people look at us and go, oh, it's a coaching thing? No, it's not a coaching thing. Okay? Like, it is a hitch in the road. It's a thing that we're going to have to get past, but we're going to have to throw another guy out there. Yeah. Like, we have got to give kids a shot to develop them because we just got to understand, DJ, I'm sorry, dude, you're not it, brother. You just got to – you got to hand it off to the next guy. Like, you had your chance. If we put Brock Clinton and he gets hurt, DJ, you get another shot at it or something. I don't know, but –
Right.
I mean, like, DJ might not be able
to – he's worth a shot.
Like, DJ might not be able to hit open receivers, but, I mean, surely he can hand me the right food at the Burger King drive-thru. Like, he can – there's something out there he can do right. But I think rolling right along, I think we should start diving into next weekend's game. Does anybody want to start us off in this category?
Yeah, let's just go backwards.
Okay.
So I ended it, and then I'll start it, and then Chase and Andrew gets
to
end it off.
All right, Jake, what you got?
All right. Let's see. I got all my notes here. All right, you know what? We're just going to hit it off. We're going to start on the big game of the week. We're going to go college game day.
Huge matchup.
Yeah, this is cool. This one's going to be a lot of fun to watch. This is Tennessee at Oklahoma. And as we're getting deeper into the season, man, this is like getting me more and more excited for a 12-team playoff. I think it's going to be such a cool dynamic because, beforehand you're looking at a 15th ranked team. I think they're ranked 15th. But a 15th ranked team, now you're just 3 spots out of it. It's not like you have that far to go. So when you have games like this playing these big opponents, Tennessee can afford a loss and still be in. But for Oklahoma and their schedule and how tough it's going to be after this Tennessee team, this is a game you need to win. And I think in a lot of ways, Oklahoma has the weapons to win this game. Mm-hmm. I think it's possible. Their O-line is very banged up right now. There's a lot of injuries that's kind of gone there. But, Tennessee hasn't really been the team this year to kind of go after the quarterback. And, you want to know the funny thing is, too? You want to know who the top rusher is on that Oklahoma team? It's quarterback.
Really?
Yeah, crazy, right? So, like,
really? Okay.
Now you're getting the best rusher on the team as your quarterback. So if Tennessee has a chance to break past that broken O-line and you got to get this guy in motion, he's not going to be an easy kid to catch. Yeah, so I think in that aspect, he's going to run around. He's going to make some plays when he has to. But on the other side of that, you have a very strong Tennessee team. You have a good quarterback in Nola. I'm not going to try and pronounce your last name, big dog. I'm sorry.
That's
but at the end of the game, he's going to have to – I'm sure what they're going to do is they're going to rely on their running game right out the gate. And then when they get themselves in quite a few, 3rd and 8s and 3rd and 10s and, stuff like that, Nola's going to have to start airing it out. That's where the game is really going to start, in my opinion. But if you're Oklahoma and you want to find the recipe to win this game, you got to see how quickly you can get a hold of this game. Or you have to see how closely you can have this game at halftime. Right. Those are going to be the 2 keys to win this game. it's, it could be a thing where it's going to end up being whoever has the ball last at the end of the game, and I hope that's the case. I don't think this is going to be a blowout by any means, but I think this will be a one-possession game. I know we're going to make our picks here in a little bit, but I'll go on ahead and give mine. I think Tennessee's going to edge out Oklahoma.
Okay.
I don't think it's going to be close, or I do think it's going to be close. I don't think it's going to be as bad as what people think. Just because if you look at just the numbers, if you look at it on paper, you can very much see that. But I think the ingredients are kind of hidden in this, that this is going to be a tight race. So I think Oklahoma has the weapons, but they got to get past the injuries. That O-line has got to just dig deep, find another gear, be ready to take on that Tennessee team. And then also on the other side, Oklahoma's defense, go get the quarterback.
Yeah.
Okay. I think they're the 6th ranked team in sacks. So dude, go get that guy. And if you can get him scared and get him off balance to where he's having to throw the ball, that's where turnovers come from. So I think this will be close. Don't be surprised at the end of the game you see upset Oklahoma. But I think in this case, and if I was a betting man, I think actually the line's 6.5. That'll probably go up, at least one more, probably 7.5 or something. But still, I think Tennessee's going to win.
Okay.
I think Oklahoma's going to cover. I think it's going to be a one-possession game, if you're going to ask my opinion.
Okay. All right, Chase. I believe you got a game taking place in the Bakehouse, right? Is that your preview?
This is a game that's actually happening right now. I have no idea what the score is, but after this episode's posted, y'all can look back and see if I got this prediction right. But this is a game that's happening right now in Nebraska. Number 24th ranked Illinois is playing at the number 22 ranked Nebraska Cornhuskers. Now, this is a fact about Nebraska. Every time they sell out their home games, their stadium, Lincoln Memorial Field, becomes the 2nd most populated area in the state of Nebraska. And matter of fact, there is a sellout tonight, and they are celebrating their 400th sellout in school history, which I found out today, and I thought that was really cool. Now, this is a game that, at the start of the season, people, thought, this will be a little cool Friday night football game. We don't really know what to expect because Matt Rule, the greatest in his first year at Nebraska or second year at Nebraska. I'm not sure. Is this his 3rd or 2nd year at Nebraska?
I think it's his 3rd.
One of the two. It might be. I don't know. One of the two. Point is, Matt Rule hasn't had a season to really showcase himself until now. And all of a sudden, this matchup has become a marquee matchup, a really good and attended Friday night game for Week 4. Now, while Illinois is not a team to sleep on by any means, they have been oppressive, and that has been because of Luke Atmeyer. Now, he has been sacked 5 times already this year, which is tied for the 3rd most by any Big Ten quarterback. But
I bet you DJ's on that list.
He is very
somewhere.
Well, you see, the difference is this guy actually likes to use his legs. So though the Illinois O-line has been a problem, he is still really good on the run. But this is the thing that's going to be the difference maker. Nebraska has a strong O-line, and that has been such a key factor for the running back, Dante Dowdell. I believe I pronounced his last name. But on the season so far, he has rushed for more than 10 yards on 7 of his 31 carries. That means close to about 25% of his carries, he's running for 10 more yards. And that has to be highlighted by his offensive line. Another key factor is Dylan Raiola, a.k.a. Patrick Mahomes 2.0. I talked a little bit about him a couple weeks ago when they played Colorado. But he has been phenomenal. All of a sudden, he's been the new highlight mixtape of college football. So I think I think what this game is going to come down to is the O-line. And you already want to give that advantage to Nebraska because their O-line has clearly been stronger on the season. And the big factor for Illinois, while their O-line is weak, they have one of the best secondaries in the NFL. Illinois coming into tonight's game is averaging 2 interceptions per game, which is more than anybody in college football. They have forced 6 picks over the last 93 attempts, which ranked second in the Big Ten. And it's very important that Dylan Raiola not only showcases what he can do outside the pocket, but that he makes keen decision-making. So that being said, this is a matchup that's going to feature what can Dylan Raiola do against a top secondary, but what can Illinois do against one of the top running backs in the nation? And when it comes down to this matchup, I think I have to give the edge to Nebraska and their stacked O-line. I think Dante Dowdell is going to have a field day. It's in Lincoln Memorial. This is their 400 sellout. They're not going to lose on their 400 sellout, but it's not going to be an easy route. It's going to be close. I'm going to go ahead and make my pick. Give me Nebraska 31-23.
I mean, look, if they're not chucking corn, they're in Lincoln Memorial. Okay, that's all Nebraskans do nowadays. But listen,
do you think they sell corn on the cob at the games?
There's no way they don't. There's no way they don't. Like, how do you not?
Dude, you're missing an opportunity right there.
That's what I'm saying. Like it's
on the flip side. I don't want to go to a football game and eat corn, but
literally, their game.
That's a good point, actually.
Do you know what their halftime show was? They got fans from the crowd to do a corn shucking competition. That was their halftime show. That's the most Nebraska thing you'll ever hear.
I mean, I love the fact that they kind of dive into their own culture thing, but you don't see people in Georgia football games eating peaches.
Peaches, yeah,
yes, it's not a thing. Could you imagine? Could you imagine some dude?
How would you
just sit there? Go team, go! That would be so weird. It would be so weird. Oh man!
You know what?
Hey, we have to go to a Nebraska game now.
No, you know what? Nobody would probably look at us weird.
And I want to compare it to a Florida State home game and see how vastly different, just the fans are, and how their whatever their traditions are, in their jean little overalls. I don't know what the crap they wear.
And that's the thing too. Is I don't think Florida State we're that crazy. Because we've been to games, we've been to tailgates. It's not like we do anything super weird.
I'd say we're a normal fan base.
I think it's normal. Yeah, I think it's normal-ish, but we're not chucking corn.
We're not Tennessee fans and dousing a whole jar of mayonnaise after a win. Now that's diabolical.
Yeah, that's crazy. I always thought for the NFL fans out there, I always thought the Bills thing of going through tables.
Mm-hmm. Bill Mafia
was just. That's hard.
Did y'all see that? That Bills couple have a baby, and the first thing he did was put the newborn ththrough a table. They got a little baby. They got a baby table, and they kind of pushed it and broke his table. It's dude.
I hope that kid's a Chiefs fan.
Yeah, he's gonna turn on him when he gets older. Yeah. It's all gonna come full circle one day.
He's just gonna break and just go. Go Chiefs.
Hey, but let's take away our corn conversation.
Real quick on the corn.
God, here we go.
Hey, Chase, live guess on what do you think the score is right now, Nebraska, Illinois. So I got the game pulled up. What's the live score guess?
Since you want to bring this up,
I will not tell you the answer.
I'm going to imagine that I'm going to eat my words, and Illinois is probably up 14-0 right now.
Okay.
Yeah, wow. I'm actually interested. I'm really interested to see what the score is right now. That's crazy. But hey, before we hop into our game picks though, let's all get on our saddles, okay? Let's take a trip from Nebraska to Oklahoma, okay? As number 4, I don't know what Chase is trying to do over there, but please stop. But look, the number 14 Oklahoma State, okay? They're hosting number 12 Utah. And what's supposed to be a pivotal Big 12 battle, okay? The Cowboys had a shaky start against Arkansas in week 2, but have since blown through their non-conference schedule. Oklahoma State earned a trip to the Big 12 game a year ago and hopes to make it 3 times in the last 4 years in December. Now for Utah posted inconsistent showings, okay, in non-conference play, including a very sketchy 23-12 win against Baylor after quarterback Cam Rising went down with a hand injury. Now, that's something I want to highlight right here, and that it's going to be a pivotal component in this game. Utah quarterback Cam Rising, he did suffer that hand injury in week 2 and missed the Utes win over Utah State. Now, he should, keyword, should be healthy for the game against the Cowboys, and his presence could make a major difference. Now, since 2021, Utah is 19-5 when Rising starts and finishes the game. And in all other games, the Utes are 12-8. So freshman Isaiah Wilson is in line to play if Rising can't get back into the lineup and has thrown 4 touchdowns to 3 interceptions so far. Now, over for Oklahoma State. We all know the name. We've all talked about him before. That's running back Ollie Gordon II. Now, he was the best running back in college football a year ago. But the Cowboys star, let's be honest, he's been struggling to get that saddle going, okay? That horse is kind of in a walking position right now. Now, despite taunting the rock more than 20 times per game, Gordon has just 216 yards on a little over 3.5 yards per carry. Now, in their 45-10 win over Tulsa, Gordon only mustered 41 yards on 17 carries. And part of the issue is the pressure that is put on Gordon in the box whenever he gets the ball. But he is way too important of a player to have these early season struggles. Now, the Utes, they were picked to win the Big 12 standings for a reason, and they have a chance to flex their muscles when they take their road trip to Stillwater. Now, Oklahoma State, they've shown some real vulnerability in run defense against mobile quarterbacks like we saw against Arkansas, and they've created opportunities for Cam Rising to attack the edges if he does play. So, and if Ollie Gordon can't get on track, the Utes have a strong pathway to victory. So even though the Utes are going to be in a hostile environment, in Oklahoma State, you know, they have one of the best backs in the nation. I think Ollie Gordon runs into a roadblock again. I think we do see Cam Rising take a trip to Stillwater, plays a full game. Give me the Utah Utes getting a big victory on the road. I think it's going to be close. I think it's going to be a gritty battle, but I think Utah's going to show why they were picked to be Big 12 favorites. I think the Utes win by 3. Give me like a 34-31 type of game. Maybe a walk-off field goal. I'm very excited to see this game go down.
That's a good one. All right, you got 3 picks out of 3 different games, so we're going to go ahead and jump into the picks for the rest of the week.
Yes, sir.
This is a week 4. There's a lot of weaker matchups. What are you moving the computer?
He said he's grabbing his guest picker. I don't know what that means, but I guess
this is our dog.
Oh, God. She's a cat.
This is our dog.
Special guest picker right here.
Oh, Lord. She's just as ugly as I remember her. Oh, man.
Our dog is old, guys. For the people the people that are watching this show that do know our dog, let me fill in the people that don't. This dog is old as dirt.
She's dead. She's dead, but not
understood.
Yeah, we love her. She is super old. Like, she's 19. And you're probably thinking, do dogs live that long?
No, they're not supposed to.
They're not supposed to.
This dog has fell down the stairs twice at her old age, and she's still kicking. So, I'm not talking 24 stairs. We're talking like 20, 25. Like,
she's like DJU this year. Like, we're asking the question, why is he still starting? But except it's why is she still alive?
Why is she still alive? But we love her. We're glad that she is here to be our guest picker. But we'll move on to the first game. We're going to go through all the. I'm going to kind of pick some of the games that are going to be bigger and closer matchups, and we'll kind of skip the ones that aren't. All right, we're going to go ahead and get this one out of the way. We have an 0-3 Florida State Seminoles taking on a undefeated California. You're going to know something crazy. Florida State's favored in this game.
I know, because I think it's because it's a night game in Doak. I think they're using home field advantage. I know it hasn't been a factor for us yet, so I don't know. Play
the local YMCA. We're gonna have the same chance. It just
they're 3-0. California's been playing great football too.
I know. Yeah. So I got the Seminoles. Go Noles.
Go Noles. Give me Florida State.
Go Noles, chop on.
All right, moving on. I think this is going to be an interesting one. We have NC State playing at Clemson. I think it's going to be a cool game. I think, Clemson's down 21. They don't really have the strongest team they've had late. I wouldn't be surprised if North Carolina has this game close because I always like North Carolina State.
Yeah.
They've kind of always had that dog in them. I think Clemson's going to get the win. I want to say the Wolfpack, but I think Clemson's going to get the win. It's going to be close.
I like North Carolina's quarterback. I think they made a great pickup in the off season. Dabo Swinney, he really needs a win right here. It's going to be in Death Valley. I think Clemson does win a close one.
The Clemson looked fantastic against App State. I know you want to say it's just App State, but App State has these past couple years has shown to be a sneaky school, and Clemson dominated them. This is a Death Valley. NC State's offense has been underwhelming, and for that reason, give me Clemson.
All right, this one's going to be a favorable pick. This one's going to be biased. Sorry. It's Mississippi State playing Florida at Mississippi State. State.
The toilet bowl early in the year.
Yeah, the church that I go at, my youth pastor and our senior pastor are Mississippi State fans.
Wow, this exists.
Only 2 on the country. I'm kidding. But you know what? In light of that, in spite of I got Mississippi State going to go in and they're going to beat the Gators in Mississippi State.
I'd rather watch paint dry, but listen, because if Florida needs to start DJ Lightweight, the fact that they're not is kind of crazy to me. This is 2 teams that have looked horrible to start the year. I think Florida's got more of a complete roster. It's going to be an awful game to watch. I think the Gators do win, though. Pains me to say.
No, I agree with you, Jay. Wait, did you say is it in Gainesville or is it in Mississippi State?
At Mississippi State, Hail State.
The Cowboys will be rocking.
This game is going to show to Billy Napier why he should have started DJ Lightweight. I've not been impressed by Florida's offense or defense by any means. Mississippi State don't look great either, but it's going to be a close, frisky win. But give me the Bulldogs. Give me Mississippi State.
I stand alone.
I got a fever, and the only prescription, more cowbell.
What?
Do you not know what that is?
No.
I'm sorry.
I've never heard
the reference.
I've never heard that in my life. I thought you just made that up on the fly.
After this thing is over, I want you to go downstairs, or Andrew, wherever, upstairs, Chase down, whatever. I want you to go find either one of our parents and just say, I need more cowbell, and ask them what that means. That's all you have to do.
Oh, God.
I'm a little disappointed in you right now. Not gonna lie.
I'll come back to you on this. I'll hit you up with an update.
In the group chat. Yeah, we'll text you in the group chat the answer.
I'm sorry for all the viewers that do know what I'm talking about.
I feel so left out.
I apologize for them not knowing what I'm talking about.
I feel so left out. I'm sorry, guys.
I would. All right, we got a top 20 team playing. We have Arkansas State at Iowa State. I think this one's pretty easy. I'm gonna go Iowa State by 3 or 4 tutties.
Give me the Cyclones, baby.
I was this year. Give me Iowa State.
Iowa State. All right, now we got a good matchup. This one's gonna be interesting. We have USC at Michigan. USC at Michigan. I think the Trojans are going to come out. They're going to be 3-0. I think Michigan's going to fall to 2-2. But I think this game is going to be closer than what we all think. I think it may come down to just a field goal.
Okay. So
give me USC.
Okay, and you're right. And you know what? Just like Trojans suggest, you gotta stay protected. Okay, you gotta protect the quarterback. Take away the pass rush. If you do that, Miller Moss is gonna be throwing all over that defense. Michigan, they're making a change at quarterback. It's not gonna matter. This is the best USC team I've seen under Lincoln Riley. Give me the Trojans, Jake. I love that pick.
Donovan Edwards is the only thing that's looks scary for Michigan. It's not going to be a blowout like Texas and Michigan. I agree it's going to be close, but I love Miller Moss. I love what Lincoln Riley's done to this offense, this revamped offense without Caleb Williams. Give me the Trojans. Michigan is not it this year.
Okay.
All right, the next one. We have Georgia Tech at Louisville.
Mm-hmm.
Georgia Tech is 3-1 to an undefeated 2-0 Louisville. You know what, man? Call me crazy. We didn't think it was going to happen to us, but it's going to happen to Louisville. Give me the Yellow Jackets going and getting the upset.
Hey,
I love
I
the
wouldn't say that's crazy.
Look,
that's crazy.
It's not crazy. Look, Louisville, they've been a scrappy team in the ACC. It's going to be on their home turf. But Haynes Kings, he's had a big bounce back since losing to Syracuse. They're going to keep their momentum rolling. Give me Georgia Tech. I love that pick, Jake.
All right. Well, it looks like this pick, I'm going to stand alone. Louisville, I love the way their offense looked. It's been electric. I don't think this triple option format that Georgia Tech's going with is going to trick Louisville at home. Louisville has a big test against Notre Dame this week. They need a confidence win before that matchup, and that confidence win is going to come with a win against Georgia Tech. Give me Louisville.
All right, this is going to be another interesting one. If you have time during your 3:30, somewhere around there on ESPN, you got Arkansas at Auburn.
Oh, yeah.
I know this is an unranked matchup, but I think this is going to be kind of a cool one to watch. Give me the Razorbacks. Give me the Razorbacks going to Auburn to get a big win.
All right.
You know, Auburn, I hate their quarterback. I think he's awful. He makes terrible decisions when pressure is on him. Auburn and Arkansas, they're both coming off, or they're not coming off, but they've had early season woes. Arkansas, tough loss against Oklahoma State. California went down and shut out the Tigers in their own home. I think, Jake, we're on the same page today. I think Arkansas puts Auburn back in their misery. Give me the Razorbacks as well.
I like it.
Well, actually, Auburn is making a quarterback change. They're going to have a new look under center. I don't think it's going to matter. Arkansas in the Oklahoma State game proved they can play in a tough environment. Nothing's going to phase them. Give me the Razorbacks as well.
Nice.
Beautiful. All right. Andrew's already made his pick. We got Utah at Oklahoma State. Andrew, we've been vibing this whole time. You know what? Give me the Utes, baby.
Let's go, baby. Ute Nation. I don't even know what a Ute is, but let's go. Utes.
Hey, listen, I love Cam Rising, and I want to agree with y'all, but I feel questions with that hand injury. I think it's about time Ollie Gordon steps up and have a big game. It's going to be a tough win, but give me Oklahoma State going on the road, and the Cowboys are coming home with a frisky top 15 road win. Give me the Oklahoma State Cowboys.
You just had to be different, Chase. You just had to be different.
I had to go against the grain.
I want to be that guy, but I have to.
All right, this game I'm not going. I've already made my pick. This is game day. Tennessee at Oklahoma. Tennessee is now 6.5 right now.
I feel like I don't have to say a lot because when you were previewing the game, you hit on all the high points that I had. I think Tennessee, I think it's going to come down to the pass game. I think Oklahoma, it's going to be in their home environment. The stadium's going to be rocking. It's one of the biggest games Oklahoma has hosted in years. And Oklahoma, they've had some testy matches. They almost lost to Tulane just not past week, but 2 weeks ago. It may have been this past week. I can't remember. Regardless, Tennessee looks way too strong right now. The quarterback game might be top 3 in the SEC. Give me Tennessee by 2 touchdowns.
And like y'all said, this is Tennessee's first true test of the year. Oklahoma's got it figured out on defense, but there's still a lot of question marks on their offense. I think Tennessee's going to take advantage of that. Give me the Volunteers on the road.
Cool. We got 3 games left. We got 2 that are going to be – all 3 of them are going to be good. We're going to talk about this one real quick. Michigan State at Boston College. I kind of like this. I'm a big follower of MMG, Papa Meeks. If you follow him, he's a big Michigan State guy.
Yeah.
I like this one, but Boston College is just – they look so good, man. That quarterback, just that dual-threat quarterback is just – kid's awesome, man. I got to give him props. I think Boston College is going to come out with a big win.
I like the pick, Jay. Castellanos and Boston College as a whole. Bill O'Brien, you got that team put together. Like I said, you took Missouri, a top 10 team, on the road to the limits. Really could have won that game if it wasn't for some late costly penalties. But listen, it's going to be a big game for 2 reasons. A, they're hosting an undefeated Michigan State, who's looked pretty good. They haven't had really extreme competition other than Maryland, but they still look good overall. But Boston College will be having their annual bandana game, which they'll be paying tributes to the hero of Boston College's campus who played lacrosse there, who saved a lot of players from an on-campus, or a lot of students and football players from an on-campus fire. For that reason, the atmosphere is going to be vibing. Give me Boston College in a very close game.
I agree. Castellanos knows how to run this offense like a well-oiled machine. I love the way the Boston College is going to represent the ACC and get a home win against Michigan State.
All right, moving into Saturday, 8 o'clock. Dude, I'm so excited to watch this game. I don't know why. I have fallen on such a bandwagon of not really the team, but just watching the games are just so much fun because I don't know if I just want them to win or watch them fail. But here we go.
Colorado?
We have Baylor at Colorado.
I knew that was going there. All right, Jay, what you got?
Give me the daggum Buffaloes, man.
Okay.
It's so stupid. It's so stupid. Like, the fact that this team, and like, look, if you're a fan, I get it. I understand we're 0-3, so I can really say whatever I want, and it holds no water because we're terrible. But look, like Colorado, it's like it's so amazing in the fact that a team that is 2-1 gets so much national coverage. It's ridiculous, and I think it's so funny in that fact. That's what makes it so fun to watch. But I know this game is going to be close because I know Colorado doesn't have it in them to run away with it. But I think Colorado is going to win. Freaking barely. Mark my words on that. It's going to be like a touchdown or a field goal is going to win this game, and then we're going to hear about it for the next 2 weeks.
And Jay, and you're exactly right. And it's such an aggravating team. I love Deion Sanders. All of us does as Florida State boys, deep down in our hearts, we want to love Deion. But it's like if you want to experience GTA in real life, just step on Colorado's campus, and that's what it's turned into. Okay. Oh, well, you know what? Actually, Jay, that's more accurate. You know what? That's actually right. Sad enough. Right. Yeah, that's just crazy. But dude, listen, Colorado. Deion, look, it's like they're flexing their watches. They're doing it for clicks, just like Oregon State did last year. It's just like like you said, Jay, every time Colorado Deion Sanders pulls out a win from the skin of his teeth, ESPN posts it like they just won the national championship, and it's because of the eye candy they have there. Shedeur Sanders, Travis Hunter, Horn Jr. They're all eye candy to the public because they've got the talent to be what they're expected to be, but they don't have the discipline and they had the lack of, I guess, fatherhood and a lack for better terms. Because daddy ain't spanking them enough, okay? When they do bad, they're not getting disciplined, and this is what it's turned into. This is what we get. I don't like it when Colorado wins, but dadgummit, they're gonna win, okay? I hate to say it, but give me the Buffaloes.
Chase, make a quick fix so we can get out of here before this show gets canceled.
All I have to say is the bright spot of this Colorado offense is been Shedeur Sanders at the quarterback. He is definitely having a Heisman season. Love it or hate it, I think he's going to torch the Baylor Bears. Give me Colorado by at least 3 scores. I think Sanders is going to have a big game, only because that Baylor offense.
Who's daddy's boy?
I'll take the under.
Hey, listen. The only reason I'm saying this is because that Baylor offense looks like really Taggart type offense. That Baylor offense looks horrible. And that's the only reason I'm saying it.
That's a little bit of an overstatement. I'm sorry, Baylor fans, if anyone are out there. I'm sorry for that disrespect. But, Jake, who we got next?
Last game of the night that we're going to pick. It's your 10:30. You got to stay up late to watch this one. But what you are going to see are 2 undefeated teams. They're going to play. You're going to have a 13th ranked Kansas State going into BYU. This one, they seem pretty lopsided on paper. I think anytime you have 2 undefeated teams, for whatever reason, it's going to be closer than what people think. I hope so in the case of BYU. That's why I'm going to pick Kansas State to win.
Okay, and look, Kansas State, these are 2 undefeated teams. Kansas State got an impressive win against Arizona last week. They're riding off a high right now. I like the Wildcats. I like the quarterback game. BYU, they have a very hostile environment. The stadium goes completely white when it's a big game like this. It looks cool. From a fan perspective, it looks cool, but the scoreboard is going to be a little lopsided. I think Kansas State gets a big statement win here.
I agree. Kansas State's coming off a dominant win against Arizona. Quarterback Avery Johnson looked fantastic for the Wildcats. BYU, they got a beautiful campus. They got a beautiful atmosphere, beautiful backdrop. Their fans have it. I want to say a joke about BYU, but Andrew's already gets canceled, so I'm going to zip my mouth shut. Anyways, Avery Johnson, that offense is so majestic. Kansas State has so much men right now. They're going to ride that momentum through BYU, and they're going to get a tough road win. Give me the Wildcats.
All right, man. That's what week 4 is going to look like. Hope we kind of covered everything that you were looking for in this episode. Hope you enjoy tomorrow. Wake up early, get some coffee, watch College Game Day at Oklahoma. I think it's a 3:30 game or is it a noon game?
It's a night game, I think. I think it's a 7:30 kickoff.
Is it a night game?
Kickoff.
Dude,
yeah.
Thank you, man.
Yeah.
I don't know why game days are playing at noon and 3 o'clock.
I hate it. I hate when they do that.
I hate it too. It's so bad. But yes, night game, beautiful, man. Enjoy tomorrow. Enjoy tomorrow night. Hope you get to watch some good football, man. I hope Florida State gets to pull one out and win.
We won't.
Yeah, I hope Colorado and Baylor is going to be a much better game than what we were all talking about. But especially you got College Game Day to enjoy. Yeah. So go enjoy that. Go enjoy on top of family. Enjoy the rest of your day. And I hope you come back next week to hear Triple Option talk yet again for another week, talking about the same old thing. Peace up. A-Town. Love you guys.